So we'll go ahead and get started. I am recording as of this point, so anybody who joins late or doesn't make it in, because I know a lot of folks are traveling into the area, this will be available for them. So welcome. We have such an awesome course set for all of you. It's beautiful. The weather looks really good. It's not too hot. I know some of the early season races, like even Stubborn Fool, it was way warmer than normal. I think Ribs race was really hot as well. So tomorrow's looking really good. And, we get the cooling effect of the lake too. And then, my big worry has been, are we actually going to be able to paddle? And the winds like at 6 and 7 a.m. tomorrow are like 0 or 1. So it's going to be beautiful. The lake was like glass this morning. And so I'm really looking forward to you all getting out on the water. I do have a couple of things, questions that came in that I just wanted to address before I open it up to questions from all of you. So first reminder, actually, all racers, please make sure that you have your mandatory gear with you at the start. And that does include masks. So you want to make sure that you've got those with you. You don't have to wear them during the race, but many of the businesses and transportation organizations are requiring them. So we want to make sure that you all have those with you at race start. And then 12-hour racers, just maybe a little hint about the course. Your paddle is not right at the beginning of your race, but we are going to have sort of a limited time frame of when you begin the paddle. So really pay attention to your course instructions to understand when do I need to be to the paddle TA and plan your day around that. So keep that in mind that you're going to have to do a little bit of planning. And then one question that came in is, when do we get our maps Friday night? And you're not getting maps or instructions tonight. You will get those at check-in. So tomorrow morning, it's really important to show up right at the beginning of your check-in window. Be ready to go, be race ready. That means, tires inflated, food's ready, or your water bottles, water bladder are filled and you're ready to go. Check in, and that will give you the maximum amount of time to look at the race instructions, take a look at the maps, start planning your day. So I think that is everything that had really come in. Oh, fan maps. Somebody asked if we've got friends who are in town or family that came up with us and we want them to be able to follow us. Have them just stop in at HQ, and I have some fan maps of the TAs, and I can kind of talk them through what might be good places to find you throughout the race, depending on which race you're doing. So just have them check in at HQ. And that's it. So what I would like to do is just open it up for questions. Let's start with the 30-hour folks. So any 30-hour folks have questions for me? The 30-hour folks
Hello.
are already, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question regarding the paddle section. Is there a recommendation for wearing a waterproof jacket while paddling or not? Or is there any feedback as to what type of temperatures to expect while out on the water?
I haven't looked at exactly what the hourly temperature is going to be, but it might be nice to have, a splash jacket or something like that. One of the pieces of gear that you do need to have, mandatory gear, is a rain jacket, so that could suffice for keeping that water off of you. I would say it's a game day decision when you're getting on the water. How are you feeling about that? And you could chat with the guides as you're getting suited up in your wetsuits as to whether or not they would recommend like sleeves and that kind of thing. So water temperatures, from those who set the course said, the water temperatures felt way warmer than they expected them to be. So that's my not answer.
Thank you. And then a follow-up to that, is there going to be a way or sometime during the paddle to change if we decide to remove it or put it on? Are we going to be out in the water for the entire time?
There would be different places where you could probably get up to shore if you needed to, and stop, beach the kayak if you wanted to. Assuming this is a 30-hour question, I'll just kind of give a little bit about the course. You will be passing the transition area on your way to get some optional points, so that would be an easy place to stop and make any adjustments that you wanted to.
Thank you.
I was going to joke that all the 30-hour teams are already asleep because they have to get up so early, but maybe that's not true. Anybody else from the 30s that have a question? All right, how about 12-hour teams? Any questions for the 12-hour folks?
Hi, Paula. This is Matthew Chapman. I just had we're a group of four, and it's our first time in adventure race, and we're doing the 12-hour. And so we've just kind of been absorbing all of your updates and all the past, and really excited about it. But we don't really know the questions to ask. It's kind of the great nervousness of it is just the unknown of it. And so one question is like when you're saying go to the TAs and such, is that like we have access to our cars for additional water or anything like that? And then two, like what is like your number one advice for newbies, especially in a 12-hour race that, we're intermediate compass readers, just any number one advice you could give us.
All right, so the transition area question, you 12-hour racers, you will be coming back to HQ a couple of times, and you will also be at another location that is not where your vehicles are. And when you get your race instructions, you'll want to read through those and kind of understand what's the flow of the day, how long am I probably going to be away from the transition area, when will I be back? At the transition area that is away from HQ, we will have water there, but it's not like we're going to have food and all kinds of, there won't be a buffet set up. So you need to kind of think about your timing and, all right, we're probably going to be gone for half of the race. We need to make sure that we have enough food to cover us through that time. Again, we will have water available for you guys. Number one tip, I think decide what your goal is for tomorrow and then maybe scale it down a little bit. And just enjoy the day. There's definitely more course for the 5-hour and 12-hour teams than you will be able to clear, assuming that we do the paddle. And so just kind of take that into consideration. And I know that's kind of a hard thing because, teams who've raced a lot understand like, oh, I know that we're going to travel at this kind of pace when we're doing the land nav section, or this is what we, bike, that kind of pace. You guys don't necessarily have that. So pick some small goals, on that first section, how many controls do you hope to get? And really watch your time. I guess the biggest tip is enjoy the day and whatever happens out there, just enjoy what's happening at that moment. If any experienced racers want to jump in and share their biggest tip, please do.
Thank you.
I guess just to add on to that, my race course instructions tend to be pretty wordy. You've probably noticed that in the pre-race stuff. My volunteers were just complaining about it moments ago about the manifesto that they end up having to read to understand everything that's going on. So give yourself time to read through the instructions and really understand what the day looks like. I think that will serve you well. Any other 12-hour or 30-hour questions? Okay, 5 hours. Let's get all of those questions. I know there are a ton of newbie racers, and I'm glad to hear there's new racers doing the 12-hour as well. Kudos to all of you folks. 5-hour folks, what are you wondering about?
Hi, Paula. This is John, and we are a four-person, totally newbie group that's doing the 5-hour race. I noticed that there was a range of distances, and you just explained that there will be more course than we could clear in 5 hours, but there's a range of distances for the bike and the land nav, but not for the paddling portion. Am I to understand that if we do paddle, we're doing the whole 3 miles?
Yeah, that was very insightful, and you're exactly right. So on the paddle, all 5-hour racers will essentially be doing the same course.
Okay.
And then the minimums are pretty much if you were just going to get 1 point, how far would you need to go for that single point to stay as a fully ranked team? And there was my volunteers were even discussing this afternoon, so I just want to clarify this. So you need to, in order to be a ranked team, get 1 paddle point, 1 land nav point, and 1 bike point. That there might be 3 different land nav legs, right? So maybe you start off on the bike, and then there's land nav, and then there's paddle, and then there's more land nav. You only have to get 1 point in one of those 2 land nav sections. So you don't have to get a point in every single leg or every single section. It's just 1 bike, 1 paddle, 1 land nav. And I like to do that for those folks who are new, so you can pick and choose your day. You kind of know, okay, I have to at least do this, but if I really like the land navigation sections and want to focus on that, you can. If you really like being on the bike, you can spend more time doing that. 5 hours, the paddle is going to be the same for all of you.
And to get the 1 point, we're going to need to do the full 3 miles of paddling. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct.
Thank
And
you.
it's a good paddle. I mean, don't let that
No.
intimidate you. I think the water is going to be really nice that day or tomorrow. I think you'll enjoy the paddle. So I
I'm
would
really looking
encourage
forward to
everyone to
it.
go out and give it a shot.
I'm really looking forward to it. I was just trying to map out what we would do for the rest of the race. So thank you.
You're welcome. What else? Questions from any of the races at this point? We'll open it up for everybody. So I teach online, and they say when you ask a question on an online course, you have to give like a certain amount of time because people have to find their unmute button. They have to process and think about their question. So I'm just going to give you all another 30 seconds to a minute. Ask anything else that you've got, and then after that, we'll call it a night. And I cannot wait to see everyone tomorrow. All right, I think that's a wrap. Can't wait to see you in the morning. Bring your smiles and bring all of your positive energy. For you new teams, we can't wait to meet all of you and welcome you to the Adventure Race family. We'll see you in the morning.
Thank you, Paula.
Good night. Sleep well.